register my microphone. There, okay, it's registering that. Let's see if it goes for you guys. I'm going
Boobs!
to...
I can hear you from both.
Okay. Because it wasn't doing it before. Hey guys, welcome to our adventure. Professionals, we've definitely streamed in the last month. No, we haven't. Today is November 14th, 2022, and you are loved. That is a very important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of our viewers and listeners at the beginning of each and every single one of these games. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, or you can go towards anywhere audio casts are being made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, if you go to patreon.com/indooradventures, you can check up on our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions for myself or any of these other fine folk, feel free to join us again at patreon.com/indooradventures. But let's say that you already support us on Patreon, you already support us on YouTube and Twitch and all of those other wonderful places, and you're trying to think to yourself, where can I go to help support this fantastic show even more? Well, guess what, buddy? We got your back. Quite literally, in fact, because if you go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, we got t-shirts, we got posters, we got mugs, we got crop tops, throw pillows, shower curtains, aprons, clocks, we got journals, stickers, and we also have face masks. I don't know where mine is right now because I have recently moved, and if you are able to play I Spy in the background, tell me where it is. You'll get a prize. I don't know.
It's right there! Look!
You know when you said that?
I was
Swiper, no swiping.
A clue!
Use your cursor to click on the stream to show me where it is. No, so... Again, you can go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. All of the proceeds of our merch currently goes to help support Doctors Without Borders. So if you actually want to go and help support a good cause, you can again go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. But that is it for my opening spiel. So hey, RJ, who are you playing today?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ, and today I'm playing Caelum, the Shadowkai Wizard Fighter. We both go by he, him.
Hi, I'm LBHackEmUp. I'm playing Gwen, the Halfling Barbarian Fighter. We both go by she, her.
Hi, I'm Cyber. I use he or whatever pronouns. I play Arjhan. Arjhan uses he, him pronouns. He is a draconian Zenial.
Hey everybody, I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener. I play as Cori, the Elegant Paladin. I go by she, her, and she, they, he.
And I am the Indoor Adventurer, and tonight I shall be your Dungeon Master. So, like we said, it's been a while since we last played, so we're going to do a pretty sizable recap on this one. The next stage in the Four Keeps journey was going to be to somehow, whether through hopefully conversation and definitely not at all fisticuffs, you are going to acquire the true name of Caius from the one being in the entirety of the multiverse who knew it, a creature known as Orcus, the demon, the Prince of Undeath, Demon Lord of the 113th layer of the Infinite Abyss. Seeing how this sounded absolutely nothing like what you guys actually wanted to do, at least without a plan, you decided to look at what options you had available to you, who you could petition, allies that you could possibly gain, information as a whole. And in doing so, you were able to receive a dossier, a breakdown on the abilities and skills that Orcus had. And somehow that made it even worse, knowing what this creature was capable of and what you needed to extract from them. So you decided that against all odds, you were going to look out and look for one of the few individuals who possibly knew how to deal with the Orcus situation. An entity known previously as Tasha, currently known as Zybilna. Sorry for people who are playing Wild Beyond the Witchlight. It's fine. She is in the process of creating Prismere, and when you all met her, informed her, hey, this is what we are looking for. We are looking for your old book, this Demonomicon, that would effectively allow you to some form of control, or at least preparedness, more so, against the being known as Orcus. Zybilna, telling you that she would be willing to give you access to this book in exchange for you spreading the good word about her name, Arjhan sweetening the deal with a potion that could turn you into a dragon. She seemed very receptive of this. And last we left off, after warning about the possibility of possession in regards to this book, she extended her hand out and agreed to shake on it with Caelum. Now, Caelum, as you reach out and clasp Zybilna's hand, your vision is brought forward. And you know exactly where this book is. This book you see resting on a shelf amongst a library, but the shelves themselves seem to go beyond mortal comprehension for the space that it currently occupies. And what you see is a small law office that is actually on top of a bakery in a city that seems to wrap around itself in its entirety. A city that you have been to before on one of your holiday journeys, a place known as Sigil. Now, what you end up seeing is coming out of this door, locking it, is a anthropomorphized fox, or at least what you are guessing is an anthropomorphized fox. They wear kind of nicer, baggier clothes. They have a small set of spectacles that rest over their nose. Yes, Caelum.
Do I recognize them as the Arcanoloth that Gwen has spoken to?
You have never seen that Arcanoloth, and you
I've
have never
never
spoken to them yourself, but by gum, your player intuition is right on the nose. And you would actually see signage that explains that this building does indeed belong to a Lady Rasinka. And as it further zooms out, you again kind of get a good idea in Sigil of where this is, and then your vision is brought back to you with the rest of the four keeps seeming to have had absolutely no time pass. All of this seemed to have transpired in a matter of seconds, and Zybilna, upon releasing the hand, gives you a bit of a wry smile, and she says, I gave it to somebody who I felt could protect it better than most. Her name is, she goes by Rasinka. It's found in the city of Sigil. Now, Gwen, you would recognize that name. This is a lady who got you off the hook, as well as gave you a contract to go and track down a certain Peter Parnell Perry.
The bunny lady?
Arcanoloth, but Caelum stutters, takes a step, looks around a little bit. I'm sorry, does anyone smell burning toast?
Oh boy. Do the thing. Cori, heal him.
I don't understand what happened.
I think he's having a stroke.
No, it's fine. That was
Wait.
very odd.
What happened?
Lady Zybilna here has shown me where to find our book.
Okay, good. Where is it? Is it in
Sigil.
Sigil?
It's in
Oh. Yeah, you can make some good money there.
Sigil. Yeah, if
That's where I sold my hair.
And Zybilna just like, kind of like screws up her face a little bit. Just,
Tiefling was eating hair.
but you
like,
still didn't ask questions.
Why would I ask questions? I wasn't using it. I mean, I guess I wasn't really using it. It looks good though, right? You like the undercut?
It does. Do you mind if I get a slight trim?
Sure. Are you gonna pay me for it?
And she will like do a quick turn of her hand. And kind of bounces it, and like it looks full of something, but you do not hear coins.
What is it?
Perhaps a letter of introduction or whatever that we would be able to use to get the book.
I can at least introduce you, although from what it sounds like, you all have a rapport with her already.
I do.
Okay, I just want to make sure that we're not going to get into any more deals to try and get this book that you've offered to us.
The
Yes.
report doesn't strictly mean that they might give us the book, that we could say your name, but they might not hand it over.
And she nods. And she will take that small bag that Gwen was like very tantalizingly close. It was a grayish bag that had patternings of animals along the sides. And she will flourish her hand again, and in its place there is a scroll that she offers to you. Or she will like turn and offer it to the rest of you three as a letter of introduction.
Great.
Thanks. Snip.
She will take it and just
Cori will
look.
put a hand out.
What?
All right, I'll be the one to ask. What do you want her hair for?
At this point, I was more just seeing if she would let me do it. But if ever, say, I was in a dire situation and needed to get into contact with individuals,
You know,
if I
some people
wanted
need to
throw
take
a
vacations,
party,
so
that sort of thing.
A dire
sometimes I
party?
can't be here.
A dire party. What sort of party is that?
It's a party, but a lot more dire.
Oh,
Like with werewolves and stuff.
I see.
You're not going to dress her up as a sunflower, are you?
Hey, I was a beautiful piece of jewelry.
We know.
No, this... Look, I'm just keeping a hold of it for safekeeping. Is that a satisfactory answer?
Yep.
How do we get to Sickle?
Ooh.
And the gateway that had been left by Alira is still... It still exists there behind you. And Tasha will proceed to go over. And with Gwen's hair, says, there are a lot of connections between things that you have ingested and things that still grow. How long exactly did you get your hair cut by this tiefling that you watched eat it?
Caelum leans over. About a yearish.
About a yearish, thank you.
So you're mostly the same person then.
I've grown a lot.
Mm,
I mean, not physically.
And she nods. And she will actually take your hair and begin to twist it. And you watch as it's almost like when you see a clown with like infinite scarves inside of their leg. Like the more that she twists your hair, it is longer than it ever could have possibly been. And you watch her actually set it around the gate. And in doing so, the coloration of the gate will change and shift. And you start smelling not exactly fun, fresh face smells coming from the gate. And she will motion to it and say, the City of Doors has many entryways.
Okay, how do we get out?
Shrugs.
I think we can make our way back out.
Okay, if I remember correctly, there's a person who you have to, like, she decides who gets in and out. It's like their god?
The Lady of Pain?
Yeah, the dominatrix of the town.
She's not. You're both not. Just don't make a fuss.
You got it.
Is anything else that we need to accomplish here? Are there any details that we haven't straightened out?
I mean, I have some questions logistically about the time dilation that's keeping this place in check, but that could probably be reserved for a later date. Magical curiosity.
I could tell you.
Tea sometime? Rain check in the future?
And she looks you over. And then, like phone to the ear, and she says, sending me.
Caelum nods. I think we're good here.
Okay, bye.
She
Caelum
will
give a bow.
tilt her large brimmed hat towards the four of you.
She was nice.
Yeah.
Well, nice doesn't always mean good.
Have
I
I
feel like
ever
there's a
shown
song
you
about
the
that.
niceness to villainous scale?
Have you seen the hot crazy scale?
Yeah.
I'm
Caelum
like,
will walk
there.
through the portal.
You and your desires to quantify everything. Walk through the portal.
Okay. And as those of you who walk through the portal pass on through, on the other side, it is the densest city that you can possibly imagine. I mean, you've been to Shroudport, you've been to Vascor, you've been to the Feywilds. Nothing is quite like Sigil. The fact that it is donut in shape and the city literally is walls that then circle back onto itself. There is a fight. There's a discrepancy between architects as to how they should build, because they cannot go higher, they cannot go lower, but they always seem to find more space to fit more things into. And when you arrive at this place, where this portal has opened up, you can see that there are very few people who even take notice of the fact that you four have just appeared into the streets of this city. It seems like almost this is a very normal thing that seems to happen within the city limits. And looking around, this is the front of the cafe, Gwen, where you had sold your hair previously.
I think I know where we are, but I don't know where we're going. So I'm only
Caelum-
half helpful.
Tim looks around. Does he see the is this cafe have like that building on top?
This is a different cafe. Yeah, from what you had seen previously, that other building was a bakery.
We're looking for a bakery. That's where the Arcana lot in the book should be.
Okay, should we ask for directions?
What was the Arcana lot's name again? Lady
Rasinka.
Rasinka. Okay.
And you can see wandering these streets, there are anyone and everyone. You see that there are like little Chewinga that are like made of cosmos riding fish through the sky. You can see that there are imps that are walking next to incubi and succubi alike. There are demons, there are devils, there are creatures far and strange. There are buildings and businesses, the likes of which you are unsure as to how to move forward about. Like, they aren't selling people parts, and they aren't selling parts of other things, but, like, you can guarantee that one of those wrigglers was attached to a sentient creature at some point, or at least was grown in a lab to resemble such a thing.
Is there some form of town guard?
Yes, there is there are town guard that you can inquire upon. Gwen would actually know these individuals. They are known as mercy killers.
Ha.
Oh, yeah, those are the mercy killers.
And you see that they
there's one.
are wearing just like this wrought iron armor that is stained a blooded red, and their armor is just covered in spikes.
Hi, excuse me. 1, love your look. 2, we're looking for a Lady Rasinka's shop.
Is this a formal complaint?
No, it's a request for direction.
And they, like, kind of like straighten, look down at you. Make a persuasion check.
Oh boy. My best skill as the low charisma wizard. Oh, Caelum! 17.
A 17. So you ask for directions on this, and this mercy killer will actually like take a badge that is located on the gorget, the like neck piece of this armor, and they will say something that's almost like a murmur into this stone. And you will see another mercy killer will actually arrive. They are, albeit a bit smaller. They definitely seem like they are not as built as this mercy killer. And mercy killer will like point to them and say, Pascal will take you to where you need.
Pascal. Caelum will give them a quick bow and a thank you.
Okay, and Pascal will approach. And when they see the 4 of you, they'll stiffen a little bit, straighten, and try and take on a little bit of an imposing visage. You can tell
Hello.
that they are new at the job, and they say, "Hello, welcome to the city of doors. I have
Thank you.
heard from my superior that you are in need of direction."
Yep.
Yeah, sorry, jogging over. We're looking for Lady Rasinka's shop.
They straighten up a little bit as well, even more so than they were before. And Pascal will say, yes, I certainly know the way. Please, follow me. And they will begin marching. And the entire time that they are marching, they aren't necessarily goose-stepping, but it's like they don't want to let their body flow in a specific way. Like they're like physically, their body is tense and on alert, even if their head is like maintained straight forward.
What sort of read would I be getting off of this?
Make an insight check.
13.
13. Arjhan? If this voice was a little bit less weary in sounding, it might be one that you recognize. There once was a man who attempted to steal some vegetables and sell a lot of almonds in a small town.
What? He got turned into a mercy killer? No, of course, because his name starts with a P. Fuck.
He seems to have recognized the 4 of you, albeit immediately, and is doing his best to not let on that he is anything more than a guard. You think that at this point in Pascal's life, they finally got it. They finally got that they just can't get into shit anymore.
Pa, now do you actually know the way to Lady Rasinka's shop?
Of course I know. I mean, I don't.
Pascal.
Yes, that is my name. Pascal.
Wait a second.
And Gwen, like, as you start looking closer, like, the armored glove has, like, a 6th finger on both sides.
Ah, maybe drop my croissant. Yeah, let's go for a walk, Pascal.
Yes, Look.
That was a legitimate question. Do you actually know the way?
Yes, no, I have had the layout of this city forced into my memory.
Oh gods.
I know the way around.
Great, so
this
what is the way?
now.
Boo-doo-doo.
This way, if you please.
What?
I thought we killed him. Did we not kill him?
No, we
was
sent
killed,
him
right?
here.
No.
Oh, right. Can we, Arjhan uppies. Whispers in Arjhan's ear. Can we use him to get to Grits now?
That's not the direction that we're going for this.
No? Okay. Well, I mean, he's here, so if it's an option now.
I have no idea. I have no idea if Grits would actually want him,
Okay.
or if he's on, or if he even knows how to get in touch with his father.
Papa.
Caelum settles up next to Cori. What's going on?
I'm trying to decide which name to use for him. The six-fingered fellow with the almonds.
Ah. Oh. Oh. Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
Ka-chum, 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 ka-chum.
Well, his newest name is Pascal. It's generally most polite to use somebody's most recently given name,
Of course.
but I just,
My comment.
I
still
enjoy
stands.
showing my cards early.
Oh no. We'll follow.
Okay. Until eventually you will arrive at the location that Pascal has been diligently leading you all towards. You will see that on the bottom layer of this small 2-story building is a location that says Chickenfoot Bakery. And you will see has what looks like an upended chicken's foot inside of a large bowl that is cauldron-esque, one might say. And on the upper floor, you can see that there is what looks like what appears to be like a silhouette of a fox's face, but very stylized, almost like a Sly Cooper look to it, but with a fox wearing small spectacles that you can see hanging. And Caelum, from your vision, you would recognize that as Rusinka's place. And Pascal points towards the buildings and says, are you interested in finding anywhere else to go in our marvelous city?
No. You are doing a wonderful job. Continue the good work.
Oh, I have a question.
Yeah, yes, as a member of the guard, I am obligated to provide assistance to
Yeah.
non-troublemakers.
Yeah, that's not us. We're not troublemakers at all. It's more of a personal question, but I'm just more of a personal type person, you know? What's your relationship like with your dad?
Not good.
No? That's so sad.
I understand my father's point of view on certain things,
Mm-hmm.
but since becoming a mercy killer,
Right.
my family is the city, my mother is pain, and we
Yeah.
are reborn in the image of the protectorate.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But, like, if you could talk to him, how would that conversation go?
Badly.
Okay.
I
Just checking.
assume that my father, as he has on several occasions, remind me of my station
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and my order in the way of things, as he describes it.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to think it was a way of testing me.
Mm-hmm.
He would put me in unknown locations, places I was meant to learn to scrounge in.
Oh.
Yes. Turns out he was hoping that nature would do away with me, but I
Oh,
am
God.
a survivor, if not anything else.
I mean, honestly, that is an accurate assessment of you. A survivor. Like a cockroach.
Oh, to be a lowly roach.
Caelum
Well-
pauses, looks to Pascal with like this commiserating stare, like, "Oh, buddy, I know what it's like having shitty dad."
But that is all right, for I have found a new family.
Great, don't make it our problem.
I am trying very hard not to, but I have difficulty not finding myself in problems way around the four of you.
If you want to take off, I think we're good. Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
Yep.
We're here.
are we doing something wrong? Are we getting you
No.
in trouble?
No, though
We
not
have gotten
trouble
killed
for me.
Twice.
I was told by the good lady not to be around these parts. But if you have business with her, casualness and doing what I'm supposed to is encouraged.
Oh, I see. So when you speak of the lady, you're
They
talking about
motion their head towards Rasinka's office.
understood.
I owe her my life.
Do you have like a employee review sort of dealie that we could 5-star you on?
Please
that's,
do
like,
not
the
tell
least-
people that I am good at this job. Don't
Oh.
tell them I'm bad at it, but please. I
All
am
right.
fine being at the bottom of a totem pole I have found myself near.
Buddy, same. I mean, what?
Okay. It was have a good one.
Like ring the little doorbell or just
Goodbye.
open the door
Goodbye.
or whatever.
Okay. And they will make a bow and then like quickly jog away from this scenario, and you can hear a
Hanna-Barbera bongos.
like it is like a slight just like you can tell like they are like trying not to cry after having met with your group, but again their life went a little sideways there for a hot second.
We've done it.
Dude,
As an adventure group, we have made it so NPCs cry at the sight of us.
Caelum looks at watches
good, man.
after Pascal and just goes, "Do you think we do more bad than good sometimes?"
No.
No.
Oh,
No. Absolutely. Not.
absolutely. Yes. Wait,
No.
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 Of course
We
not.
literally saved the world at least twice by this point.
Mm-hmm.
That man stole carrots and cabbages.
You are absolutely correct.
Okay.
Remember the mood? You were there. We
Mhm, yeah,
died.
I remember all of that.
We died.
Okay, so you go up to the you actually go up to the second store balcony, and you can see that on her door it is again that same fox face, but the knocker is actually her glasses that rest on the nose, so you pull them back and they knock against, and you don't have to do very many raps along the door in order to gain her attention. You eventually hear, I'm coming. You can hold your horses for just a brief moment. And the door opens, and she says, well, I'll be. You brought friends.
Hi.
The name's Rasinka, and she puts her hand out to the group as a whole and just waits for someone to take it.
Hi, we actually have a business from... What name were we supposed to... Who is this from?
She'll take the paper and like pulls
Does
the
it
little
say it's from
spectacles.
Tasha?
It explains as much. She'll pull her spectacles, set them on her nose, and just, all right, why don't you all come in? This looks like this is going to take a little while. And she invites you into her home. And when you arrive inside of this
First
building,
mistake, we could be vampires. Sorry, go on.
that's fine. Inside of this building, there is a wonderful glowing hearth. There are large backed chairs that seem to be placed around. Gwen, you've been in this building before, and it does have a very cozy but like a New England lawyer kind of feel to it. There is a constant rain on the outside of the window that just does not seem to translate to the rest of the city. It seems like inside of this building itself is its own, not necessarily demiplane, but it plays by its own specific set of rules for a creature as old as Rasinka. And she will pull up a chair, and she will begin reading through the contract. And as she again has welcomed you into her home, she reads through it. Just, I see. Well, that's very interesting. It's not very often that the co-author ends up reaching out to me. That's fine. Oh, I see. I see that she promised you a specific book based off of this here contract.
That would be correct.
That is understandable. It is entirely within her right. Are you... How do I put this? For what purpose do you need this that you could possibly find yourself unwilling to help me for just a brief moment? I did get your friend out of a rather terrible debt.
Insight check.
Yeah, make an insight check.
7.
A 7? She seemed like she has put on like the old Southern Belle guise of needing assistance with something.
Second question, is this a publishing house?
Getting a look around, it seems more closer to a publishing house than a law office, though if you could combine the two, that is where this building would be.
Caelum is just standing there wide-eyed at all the books that he has not read yet.
As far as I understand it, our friend has paid off our debt, and we've come asking for something that the authors already promised us. What more would you have to ask?
All I would ask, is if y'all could attend a party on my behalf. There's a certain masquerade ball that's held, well, every so cycle here on Sigil, and there is an individual there who does not want me to attend for obvious reasons. Not because of any bad blood between the two of us, but living as long as I have, you learn to play a game or two. And this is a game that they and I have been playing for a mighty long while.
And you intend to make us political pawns of this game?
Oh, it's not political in nature. Don't be ridiculous. And nobody would know who you were. You'd have fun masks on.
A masquerade, you say?
Masquerade ball. One night only. And that's all I would ask. If you insist that you would rather have the book and leave me to my own, I suppose, but...
This does sound very fun, but I would like to know some more information. What sort of game are we playing?
Wow, the game of Ascension is the easiest way to describe it.
Well,
I'm afraid I've already won that one.
Continue. If this is something that that you're going to make us do, I would at least like to know all of the details.
Yes, of course. So, consider it more of a game of leverage, being able to hold one thing over the other. My species, for lack of a better term, we are called Yugoloth as a generic phrase, but there are many of us. And the way that we as a species have been able to survive, have been able to adapt and overcome over the years is that we do not play games with devils. We do not deal with demons. However, we do make concessions to play both sides every now and then. So really the only people who we have to look out for or have to look out against are each other. Now, in order for me to reach the next stage of what I need to be, I need to pull one over on what is considered an ultraloth. They are going to be at this party. Now, the way that I become an ultraloth is by taking something that belongs to them and making it a little bit more known that I have the ability to overstep that boundary, as it were. In this situation, I again would not be allowed to go into the party, but if the four of you, on my behalf, were able to go into the party, take something from there, give it back to me, then I could hold leverage to either ascend to the station of Ultraloth myself, or simply lord it over the reigning Ultraloth and let him know that I could take his position at any moment, which honestly sounds more fun for me. There's a lot more responsibilities that go along with being an Ultraloth that I don't particularly care for.
I'm sorry. I just want to make sure that I'm getting this right. This is a masquerade heist?
Well, if you want to use those words. I'm simply inviting some friends to a ball.
Gwen looks at Arjhan in the same way that she did when there was talk about going to war. That I don't need to do this, but I really want to do this. If you say no, I won't do it, but I really want to do this.
Cori's trying hard not to look excited about it, but she's visibly excited.
What do you want us to steal?
Surprisingly enough, a book. There's a large library that's going to be at the house on Duval, and, well, it is technically on loan from the Ultraloth that's there. It's, again, a lot of technicalities. Essentially, all you would need to do, because I already have people on the inside, when a distraction happens, either continue making said distraction, buy into it, help evacuate the guests, play your part. It's rather simple. Even if you don't know what your parts are, all you have to do is look it and chat people up. They are generally bound to divulge all sorts of information there.
Who are the people who are going to be at this party?
Well, we have Intrasis, the Ultraloth. You'll know them because they are going to be wearing a black and sequins mask in the shape of a displacive beast. There's going to be Nomad. He's a Yangaloth. He's got one small arm that it carries a little book in, and then one large arm. And he's been a thorn in my side for millennia. He's a downright asshole, and I do not stand for him. But he'll be looking for me. He won't be looking for the four of you. Then, of course, there's going to be Poplar Wood, the Briganock, little gossip queen. He's a very strange fellow, but they're going to be wearing a mask made of hard glass that completely obfuscates their presence. So you will have to create new names for these individuals or find out their names. Because again, it is a masquerade and no one will know who each other are. Then
I've played this level of Dishonored.
Then, of course, there's Sargent, the Inhospitable. They're a beholder. It'll be pretty easy to find them. They like to drink a concoction they call space milk. It's creme de menthe and chocolate milk. It gets them rightly smashed.
That sounds fucking delicious.
It would be if not for their anti-magic beam that makes things a little difficult.
Can they like turn that off though?
You ever tried turning something off when you're already blind drunk?
Once.
That's all you need.
But like the general attendance.
General attendance. There will be plenty of them.
Yeah, right. But like, what's the audience? Why are people being invited? What's the occasion?
Why, that's because one of the greatest adventurers, greatest explorers is back from a journey into the deepest of space. And they came out all right. They want to throw a party for everybody. All of their friends. That would be Skiznabat. Skiznabat, I don't know if you have ever heard of an adventuring flumph before, but they are one of the finest. You'll know them. They have a little black leather mask that has a lot of frillies extending down from the front.
Okay.
Just a general host party.
Right. So
Now-
us being there wouldn't be weird.
No, definitely not. Especially, like I said, I have individuals on the inside that I am willing to
Sacrifice.
help accommodate
Right.
my goal with. Specifically, there is an individual who goes by the name Orillo the Threadless. He seems to have found himself out of a job and in need of work, so I was able to provide for that assistance. And then, of course, there is also Direxon. He considers himself to be, and I quote, a mind flayer separatist who believes that they are better off not connected to the Elder Brain, so they'll just, they're an interesting fellow. Most certainly. But those are my allies on the inside. And then, of course, the one individual that you will need to look out for the most, regardless of what you're doing, because keeping up appearances is key, their name is Foyer. Or at least that's what we all know them as. The House of Duval is one creature. It is a house, yet it moves, it breathes, it thinks, it does everything that a house should not do, but it does with exceeding fashion, and it throws the most luxurious parties this side of the donut.
Oh, our house does that too.
I see.
So wait, is the foyer a person, or is the foyer the name of the house?
We like to say that Foyer plays house, if that makes any sense to you all. It typically will present itself in the form of a fainting couch with a rather luxurious coat about it. Other times you will notice that a chair has moved upon its own, that glasses are moving throughout the house. Have you ever seen the Mummers play about Beauty and the Beast? It's like that, but if they all thought as one.
So haunted furniture
With a hive mind.
with a hive mind.
But they love a good party.
Oh boy.
So what you're saying is we need to steal something from a house that is living?
Well, it's not technically the house's. House
yes,
will know. But the house also loves a good show.
Right.
Do you presume that we'll have to convince the house that we're putting on a good show, or is it already on board?
The house is a neutral agent in this. More so in that I have not confirmed with them as to a plan. Because you don't know what dust covers are going to say.
I don't know what desk covers are gonna say.
No one does. And that's why the parties are always a blast. So,
Right. So, you're asking us to do this for the thing that we are already owed.
I was just looking for some help, but if you would rather just get your book, I suppose.
How about you sweeten the deal?
And how do you suppose I do that?
I don't know. What do you have to offer?
I have knowledge. And as she says that, the walls seem to peel back, and you find yourself in, again, this publisher's law office, but now, like, when you see those libraries where, like, the books are hanging off of various shelves that are built into the ceiling, it is one of those. Been around for a while, you learn a couple things.
Do you think that's something we could use? She says, turning to Arjhan.
We need this book for a very important task. We may need help making sure that this plan goes smoothly.
And that is help I am willing to provide.
When's the party?
The party will be held later this evening. You'd have roughly 6 hours to get ready. But don't worry. All these books here, that's nothing compared to my wardrobe, honey.
Show us.
All right. And she will take you to the wardrobe. And there are, you can see what would otherwise be unseen servants, but they seem to have little red bow ties tied around what would be their neck, as well as cufflinks, so you kind of know where hands and a head generally would be. You are then taken into this fantastical wardrobe to get ready for a masquerade. So, a masquerade ball, fancy clothes, partial face coverings. What is everyone's masquerade heist look? Because I would love to know this.
Okay, here we go.
Gwen has a metal mask that she wears that is forged from some bracers that she had left over.
Okay. So you got the mask. What's the rest of the clothing look like?
It's, she's wearing a fancy suit with metal or metallic looking accents on the cuffs and on the lapels.
Okay. And Caelum?
If this is like a masquerade in terms of like Met Gala ball out outfits,
From what it sounds like, it's a mix between the Met and Heidi Klum's Halloween.
I'm not dressing up as a worm. It is essentially a tuxedo, but lose the two-piece shirt and jacket. Instead, it's a very sheer, like, gossamer silk that is tightened in with a vest, sleeveless, and, well, sleeveless on one arm, and the other one is it's attached at the forearm, a very long triangular sleeve that covers his hand.
Okay.
And he will wave a hand over his face, and the owl mask appears. It's in the suit color itself is in blacks and dark navy blues.
Arjhan's is more simple. Like it's this sleeveless thing that really like hugs around his skin and sort of like racerbacks up the side to a little like turtleneck thing, like a really thin turtleneck thing, and flows down to where there's like pants with like whatever you call that thing where you've got like the like loincloth thing hanging down in the middle. That sort of like not skirt thing, but yeah. And then he's just bare armed the whole thing except for like his rings and stuff. And he's got a mask on that is basically Lady Gaga's mirror mask from the Poker Face music video, except completely obsidian and jet black. There's no color in it at all.
All right. Cori's outfit is decorative armor. And so it's got like a lot of filigree, a lot of gold. And the mask is going to be a tree that exhibits all 4 seasons at once. So like there is like a shock of pink as it's fully in bloom for spring, like some full green leaves, then the autumn leaves, and then just like some bare twisting branches off to the side, and then like little eye holes.
It's amazing that Lady Rasinka had one of these masks ready to go, but you know what?
Just completely ready to go.
What a completely random happenstance.
Well, I imagine that like I don't know. I have a head canon that these Chippendale unseen servants have like a real passion for what they do. So they like quickly like just descend on us and like custom tailor these outfits for us.
Oh yeah. For sure. All right. So, the overall process of getting geared up to go to this masquerade ball has taken you a significant amount of time. However, you seem pleased with your overall looks. Lady Rasinka seems pleased with your overall looks. She encourages each of you to create a fun backstory for yourself. No one will know who you are. It is a masquerade ball. So clearly your identity is disguised by your mask. So just have fun with it. And that is her go-to. And when she says, and when the party is over, look to your bag, and you will have what you need.
To my bag?
She nods.
It's not a glitter bomb, is it?
No, that would just be rude. Like you said, this was important to you, and this party is important for me, and if you need to leave with an expeditious movement, well, that deal will still be good.
Got it. Okay. Well, let's party.
Okay. So Rasinka will give you the instructions to go to a destination before the party. That is where you will receive your invites. It is from this location that you actually encounter another familiar looking individual, at least partially. They have their mask up, and it looks like their face is a little red. They have been having a difficult time breathing in it. Arjhan.
Before we leave, I would like to ask Rasinga to describe the book that we're looking for.
She will describe that it is written in the original Yugoloth tongue, which she will then show you a brief description of what the characters look like. And she says that it is a rather small paperback. And it can also be a little difficult to find, but it is a gift that they have been holding on to for quite some time.
Would that be enough for locate object?
Yeah, with the she'll give you enough that the locate object fires. She would also inform you that the name of the book is called. It would just be called The Game. Very simply, very easily put, just The Game.
Damn it. Deadpan look over to Gwen. I lost the game.
Well, perhaps you should find it. You like my accent?
Who are you?
I am Baroness. I shouldn't give my real name, right?
No.
I am Baroness Lady Wolfenstein of the Doorstopper clan.
Why are you a doorstopper?
That's her last name.
Who stopped a door?
Well, it is a long story about one of my ancestors who was tasked with holding shut a door. And he did his job so well that they named the clan after him.
Now she's really getting into the spirit of things.
Thank you. I'm very much enjoying this.
Okay.
Right.
So, making your way through the streets of Sigil, following the directions that Lady Rasinka has given you, you end up meeting with your contact, and you again recognize a familiar face. Bald-headed, or of an angular chin. They are flushed. It looks like they have been having difficulty actually being able to breathe with their mask on. And you see that it looks like Arillo, and the mask that they have is what appears to be a giant frog head that they are able to put over their own face and still like speak through it. And there's a straw attachment that comes out from the front that looks like part of a lazy tongue. But Arillo, when upon seeing the four of you, you can see like masks still resting above their head. Why is it always you four? Anyway, hello. It's nice to see all of you. Hope you've been doing well.
Good day!
Playing the role. It's very good. Do I have to? And he like looks towards the four of you. Do you all have like your masks and everything on already?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And he just
Absolutely.
right. He'll pop the mask down. Just why is it always you four? And like his voice doesn't really change that much, but you can see he's trying to make croaking sounds intermittently throughout. Thankfully, not many will know who you are, so I believe these are for you. And they reach into their robe and pull out what appear to be 4 tickets to Skiznabat's Wonder Gala. And you can see that there's like a little flump in the corner of one of these tickets that has like a tri-corner hat and a cutlass in one of its small tendrils.
Great. We don't need to reunite with you, do we?
No. I mean, I would appreciate it if I called for help and someone came for assistance, but hopefully that won't be necessary. It's more of a general thing. Like, if you called for help, I would most likely go and investigate it. Although, you seem very large, and if you're calling for help, there's most likely no way I'd survive whatever it was that was making you yell in such a way.
Hey, Oreo. Size doesn't mean everything.
My name is not Oreo. My name is Frobert.
Oh.
And they, like, if they could, like, put a finger to the side of their nose as, like, haha, quick lie. They, like, bring their finger up, and then you just hear thunk. I'm still getting used to the size of this thing. And they will lead you in the direction of this gala. And rightfully, it is not a difficult place to spot, as you see that there are lights that have been set up that are going in every which way. It seems like this is actually a very sought-after event, gala to attend. There is a fancy carpet for people to show off all of their looks and gears, and you can, like, there is even, what you can tell is, what you're guessing is a giant, or at least it has some giant in there, sitting at a table next to a pale-skinned individual with very pronounced canines, and they are doing commentary about the fancy forms that people have decided to bring to the gala. And as the lot of you arrive, Frobert will extend an arm out and says, "They don't know who we are, and that is the best line of defense. Separate yourselves, but obviously keep eye contact. Who would like to be my +1 for the walk?" If no,
Holds
if you say
Arjhan's
no
hand.
one,
Looks to Cori.
Cori is very silent.
if no one wishes to be my +1, I suppose I shall make my way ever onward. And they have a small little top hat that has manifested above the frog head. They give it a little tap and begin strutting forward. And you see that it's like a piano player's suit. Like, it has the back frills and everything for where you would need to be able to sit down, as they confidently begin to walk into the Adventuring Flumps Gala here in the city of Sigil. And that is where we are going to go into our break for the evening. So come on back. We got costumes. We got beholders. We got all sorts of stuff. And the thing that we have most importantly is friendship. So we'll see you all in like 5 to 10 minutes. Don't go to a place unless it's grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. Pick yourself up something nice. And we'll see you all shortly. All right, everybody. Bye-bye. And hello, everybody.
Simon!
Yes?
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Control freak. This is where you say control freak who.
Control freak who?
Haha!
That
He got you.
He got me.
He got you.
He middle
I've
managed
I've got another one.
Yes.
Singing in the shower is fun until you get shampoo in the mouth. Then it's a soap opera.
God damn it. I love it. I love these jokes. And I also love the fact that these players went above and beyond. I did not tell them that tonight was a masquerade heist, but here we are. I'm having a blast with it. So, last we left off, Orillo the Threadless, currently under the guise of the name Frobert, has decided to descend unto the Flumps Wonder Gala that had been described as the place where you needed to be. What is the quote-unquote marching order or method of introduction for getting into this gala? Are we going in pairs? Are we going by ourselves? Are we going as just a polycule as an adventuring company?
I believe the Baroness von Wolfenstein had grabbed my hand, so we may be going in together.
Okay.
I will go up to the. Do we have to be announced?
Yes, there is an announcer.
Okay. I want it to be noted that Gwen is holding on to one of Arjhan's fingers. As is custom.
Okay. So it is
Okay.
the Baroness.
Baroness Lady Wolfenstein of the Doorstopper clan.
And Arjhan?
Jet.
Jet?
Jet.
Okay, sounds good. So, yes, Gwen and Arjhan, as you arrive, the Barker will see your invitation sheets, see the names that are written upon them, and say, "And now, announcing Baroness Lady Wolfenstein of the Doorstopper clan and her traveling companion, Jet." And there is like, "Oh yes, oh yay," and like you even hear a murmur of like, "Oh, I remember them from last year. They're very good." And like, obviously, like they were just saying shit. You guys weren't here last year, but you are then made way into the rest of the gala. Cori, Caelum, the two of you have yet to be announced. What is a title that either of you are going to go by? What's the backstory here? Or are you keeping it simple like Arjhan?
Caelum just looks to Cori, offers his arm.
I suppose Cori will take it. Have you got an angle here?
Yeah, Caelum introduces himself as Lord Telaraves, the Wandering Scholar.
Telaraves, the Wandering Scholar.
And I'm Rhonda Mumps. I work down at the hot dog factory.
And Rhonda Mumps from the hot dog factory.
Fuck you! Fucking pull.
Oh no, she knows how the sausage gets made.
Okay, and important. Are Lord Telaraves and Rhonda Mumps, are they traveling companions or are they being introduced separately?
Well, they both walk to the door together.
Okay.
So.
Taking your sheets. Now announcing Lord Telavares, the Wandering Scholar, and Rhonda Mumps from the Hot Dog Factory. And there's claps and cheers and ooh, what wonderful armor. I didn't know they were packing that much at the hot dog factory. Ooh. And like, just like calling out to the two of you, complimenting the looks. Great looks all around. Wonderful, wonderful, great stuff.
Caelum, like, as they're being, like, clapped at, he'll do, like, the head twist to the side just to make it be a little bit unsettling.
You see that one of the bystanders actively, like, puts a hand to their forehead and faints as you look at them with this owl mask. It seems like whoever they were, that was exactly what they needed, and they will think about this moment for the rest of their life.
This will get them through their marriage.
Jesus. So, you are all announced and brought in to this here gala. And when you arrive, like Lady Rasinka had informed you, this is a massive parlor at this otherwise innocuous house. Looking around, you can see that there are, again, you see that there is a beholder who is currently at the bar having loudly proclaiming that they don't understand the issue. They brought their own milk. Why can't you just make it? And the wait staff has to, like, very assuredly, like, no outside food or drinks. as Sargent the Inhospitable lives up to their namesake. However, you can see that the mask that this beholder is wearing is a fish from one side, where the eye of the fish is the main beholder eye, and then on each of the small eye stalks there are other fish that have been attached to it to maintain an air of anonymity. You also see that there is indeed this kind of green-skinned, bald-headed individual that you are going to guess is Intrasis, this ultraloth that seems to be going around and conversing with individuals. They are being accompanied by an individual that you would know as Nomat. They have the small little arm, big arm down the side, and they are wearing a mask that looks like a lobster face. They have just like little spindles and everything coming out from the mask to make it look enjoyable. And then you hear laughter also coming from near the central gathering area, and you can see that there is a flumph that is... It has hair, and that's like the weirdest feature of this guy, most notably, is that it is a small patch of brown that is perfectly coiffed and pushed back, not slicked back. There's a huge difference there. And they have, in one long tendril, a bottle of, a flagon of booze, and then in the other, they have, like, lazily resting atop of the cutlass, but other tendrils are sort of, like, making very wide gestures to folks and individuals, and you can see that there are two, you're not sure, individuals. You know the like, back end of it is that they are some form of Gith, but you cannot tell if they are a Gith Yankee or a Gith Zerai, and both of them are standing next to each other, one wearing a tiger mask and the other wearing a lion mask, and they seem to be, like, ribbing each other a little bit, like making fun of each other while they're listening to the Flump story, but again, there is this general upbeat that the Flump is, like, regaling the tales of adventure with all of these other fine folks. And you see, kind of like walking around as well, very much tottering, is this very regal looking chaise lounge. And on this chaise lounge, you can see has a mask that has been put over the, like, the backrest of it, which in this instance looks like an owlbear's mask. It's very wide and has a little beak. And they are, as they are walking around the house, you can see that they have, like, trays and other things that are set up behind them. So they are acting also as borderline service in this place, bringing foods and drinks and other things, and almost like a... Imagine if you could make a train out of footrests and other such things being led by the chaise lounge, but sitting upon the chaise lounge, just sort of like freely drinking. You can see that very hard reflective glass of what appears to be a very tiny creature, almost like with a rat-like face. Their nose is sort of flared out like a mole. They have a little globe ball that seems to follow them around everywhere. And when they go to try and drink things, you can see that the straw that they have within their beverage sort of eludes them as they go to mouth for it. But then the beard, acting almost on its own accord, wraps around the base of the straw, pulls it in, allowing this disguised Briganock to continue the festivities and revelry. So, as far as areas that you can see that near the open bar, There is Sargent the Inhospitable, who again is behind a fish mask. And next to them, you can see that there is a Mind Flayer. And the Mind Flayer, you were told, was going to be in a rabbit disguise. And this Mind Flayer has very cheap rabbit ears. One of the ears is a little crooked. And upon their noseless face, they have strapped around their head this little rabbit nose that has the 2 teeth sticking out from the front.
Are they also wearing a corset and fishnets with high heels? I just want to know.
They are not. I know what fantasy you're thinking of, and sadly, this is not a Playboy Illithid come to the party.
Sir?
Damn it.
That's a different podcast. So, you see, and you would recognize this individual as one of Lady Rasinka's friends. You would see that Frobert has made their way over to the food area as they are enjoying some meals and sort of like looking around, taking in the sights. And then, of course, there is the Flumph and everything else that you have seen. Would the royal friends of Four Keeps, are you drawn to any of these particular places inherently? Do you want to explore?
Caelum's just going to quietly elbow Arjhan and nod over to the Illithid. Just taking note that that's our inside man, essentially. Inside squid.
You want to inside the squid?
No, there are inside
Just
squid.
pointing out the person.
Got it.
Just pointing them out, yeah.
Yeah, Arjhan is gonna start just like drifting off. Just sort of walking around looking at like the decor and everything. He might like grab a drink and just like absentmindedly sip it while looking around. What I would like to do is to find a spot where I could get away with casting locate object without drawing attention to myself.
Okay, yeah. Make a perception check.
15.
15. So looking around, you know that in order to cast this spell in a place like this, you are going to need a decent distraction to be able to get this through without anybody paying attention. You can try and find a dark corner. You can try and go somewhere, but with the house being ever present and other people constantly looking, you are in a party. It is a as much of a place to obscure anything as it is to be seen by everyone. So you know, in order to cast this spell, you will most likely need to have at least a bit of a distraction. Maybe a clumsy friend or somebody willing to make a buffoon of themselves in order to draw some attention.
Got something. It's not buffoonery, but
Lord Televaris, the Wandering Scholar.
Look, Meteor
what is it?
Swarm is not going to work here.
oh no, it was gonna. Well, I mean,
It would be very distracting. What's your play? What's your approach?
Oh, I was gonna use Tasha's otherworldly guys to fucking ball out.
What to what?
Essentially, it's going to be like, this outfit doesn't suit me anymore. Tasha's otherworldly guys to essentially like become a beacon in the room. Like, oh, what is he doing?
Get up, like look a lot cooler.
Like a wardrobe change, essentially.
Ah, I see.
Oh my god, you want a wardrobe change after you've already gone through the carpet? You absolute monster. I'm here for it.
Do a fucking quick change as soon as you walk in the room.
Intro scene of Bayonetta 3.
Boom, 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 boom.
Okay, yeah, so Tasha's, what gaze?
Tasha's
Otherworldly.
otherworldly guise.
Guys, okay.
I've used it before. It's a better oh god, the spell that makes you a really bad fighter.
Oh, yeah. Mordenkainen sword and board.
Mordenkainen's I'm fucking useless.
I think it was like a tensor spell. It doesn't matter. You
Tensor's
are doing
transformation.
you are doing this otherworldly guise. What level spell is that?
It is a 6th level spell.
Okay, 6th level spell. Make a spectacle roll, but that's not a thing in any system I've ever played before. But
Performance?
It should
performance, Arcana.
Ooh, Arcana, please.
You haven't played Good Society.
I have not played Good Society. No.
Well, you don't
Yet.
roll. You just put a token down and say, "I do this." How's a 31?
31.
be.
Oh.
Jesus.
My
Oh,
God.
can I got the idea.
Okay.
Essentially, Caelum just walks out into the middle of the dance floor. If Arjhan has conferred with him, he needs a distraction.
I mean, do we sending through earrings? Is that silent communication or?
Well, you have to speak.
Look,
Damn
I
it.
will say that for this rule of cool, you all have known each other as companions and adventurers long enough that you can Ocean's 11 head nod, like full
Mhm.
conversations back and forth in this heist.
I give them a look that says,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something in her eyes tells me she's looking for.
Dame walks into
Distraction.
my part of the. Anyway,
I
imagine
go
there's
all the way
like
down to the floor.
classical like dance music playing, and as Caelum walks to the center of the dance floor, he will grip like the shoulder of the vest that he has on, and as he begins to tear it away, the room darkens immediately, and it's like the darkness is welling up underneath him. It coalesces around him, and there is just this like the outfit he has on elongates, essentially giving him that evil sorcerer look.
Okay.
And there is like the trademark ploof of feathers around him as he has his arms out and does like a small spin, like, "Are you not entertained?"
I'd like to
A
draw
moment.
attention to him by clapping loudly and being like, "Isn't he something? I found him in a tavern in Waterdeep."
I found him in a hot dog factory in Waterdeep. Inflating or
I feel like the vibe that the elves are going for here is just like the one loud one and then like the silent like as the grave one.
But they can't make up their mind as to who is
who's
who.
who. It's like people try to play good cop, bad cop, but the two cops are playing the good cop. They reconfirm, like, "I thought you were the bad cop, Noah."
It's
Now
Batman
we have
and
two
Superman.
coffees and a prisoner who won't say anything.
We have an overcaffeinated prisoner.
If that's
Yeah.
significantly distracting, I would like to locate object.
Okay.
Where is the game?
Okay. So make a sleight of hand check, and this will be definitely with advantage. Sleight of hand or stealth.
I would much prefer stealth.
Take it.
28.
28. Okay. So in this moment where Caelum ascends in the middle of this party, he has allowed himself to transform into this guise. There are oohs and ahs, and he wasn't wearing that before. Like, very much like some people are like trying to shit on him a little bit. Like, that's a magic masquerade thing. It doesn't count. But then you hear the voice of Foyer will actually, like, through this chaise lounge, just, "Don't worry about it, darling. Don't worry about it. All is fair in the house." and like they will actually like rattle on all four of their little like chaise long leggies because they cannot clap. But oh, beautiful, darling, beautiful, beautiful, as they continue to just clap. And again, you are met with this ovation. Arjhan, your spell goes off without a hitch. You find the location of the game. You would guess, based off of the size of this room, that the library is up is up a staircase. It seems like it goes into a hallway. And you are guessing that down that hallway, no more. What is the range of the object?
1,000 feet.
1,000 feet. You are guessing that no more than 1,000 feet down that hallway, in a rough general estimate, is where the game can be found.
No guests are going that way, right?
It does not look like any guests are currently making their way there.
Would I still be able to use this distraction to slip away?
With that stealth roll that you had, most certainly.
Okay. I would like to do that.
Okay. Sounds good. So yeah, you managed to slip through the darkness and make your way in the direction of where this here book is felt to be, using this here spell. Meanwhile, on the show floor, Caelum, you have just performed this extravagant transformation. Cori, you are in the process of hyping him up to the best of your abilities. And Gwen, what are you doing during this time that darkness has fallen, that Caelum is now looking even more extravagant than he once was? Looking around, I would say that, like, if anything, you were like, you made eye contact with Arjhan and he is like stealthed off. Like, you know the direction that your friend went, but it does not seem like anyone else has paid attention to him in this moment.
I know that the host of this party is... Who is the host of this party?
The host of the party, technically, is the house itself.
Okay.
However, and this being the house on Duval, however, you know that this house is hosting the party as a welcoming party for Skiznabat, the flump, who again is wearing this like Orville Peck mask.
Okie dokie. I will. I think Gwen is just standing there for a second, like, and then she's like, "Oh, I should probably do something." And then she moves over to Skiznabat to introduce herself.
Okay. Yeah, Skiznabat is surrounded by folks. Makes it a little hard to get in. However, as a halfling, I believe you have the ability to kind of just go underfoot and make your way in through the crowd. So this is no issue for you. Until eventually you are face to face with what looks like, if a flump could be a grizzled adventurer, they would be here. They would be Skiznabat.
Gwen clears her throat and then holds up a hand.
And you hear one of the Githyanki say, "Look at the absolute gall on the..." And as like they are trying to just like dark on you, no, Skiznabat raises a little flump tendril and silences them. And then you see them do a little roll, take your palm. This jellyfish like leans forward and and then they like float down towards your level, and you hear into your mind, "The Baroness Lady Wolfenstein of the Doorstopper clan. I noticed you as soon as you walked in. Marvelous garments, marvelous. Love the mask. Are you having fun? Are you enjoying the party?"
This is quite the great gala, as it should be for such a great being of your stature.
Yes, I am a retired adventurer, as it would seem. As you may not know, I was not always this way. I was once, and they turn to look into a camera that is not there, a man.
Tell me your tale, great adventurer.
Of course, Baroness Lady Wolfenstein of the Doorstopper clan, but not here. Please,
No?
come with me. Are you thirsty? Do you require a beverage?
I thirst always.
Of course, well, hopefully, our dear friend, Mr. Fish, and if a flump could wink, they would, in reference to Sergeant the Inhospitable, will have found himself something tasty and will leave us be for just a moment.
Yes, I've heard of that interesting beverages made out of some sort of mixture.
Yes, they swear by it. Creme de menthe and chocolate milk. They call it space milk. Vile stuff. Truly vile, but I don't know if you were aware. Dairy acts as humans would describe it, grain alcohol for beholders.
Oh, yes, I've heard of
Yes.
this alcohol you speak of.
Mr. Fish does indeed like to party.
I see. Well, let us see if you can quench my ever thirst.
Of course. Of course. Baroness Lady Wolfenstein of the Doorstopper clan. And they undulate out a little tendril in the way of an arm for you to link around.
Just a hand up. It's all.
And
I'm gonna try and have this guy get drunk. I'm going to do a drinking contest.
Okay.
A fancy drinking contest
Oh, with cocktails.
with cocktails and milk.
You're hustling this guy with alcohol.
I am. That's exactly what I'm doing.
Okay. So Skiznabat and Gwen are going to get some drinks. Gwen,
Yes.
you are undercover. Your
Yeah.
persona is established.
Mm-hmm.
You want to get this guy into a drinking game, right? That's the goal?
No. The goal is, I've laid the groundwork of being the ever thirsty, the never quenched.
Okay.
I want him to I want to occupy his time enough so that he is trying to quench my thirst.
You're making yourself a thirst trap.
That's exact. I am the trap of the thirst.
Operation Thirst Trap. Let's do.
Operation Thirst Trap, Sly!
So I'm not necessarily trying to, if he does drink with me, then he is, he will get drunk. However, I am attempting to occupy his time enough by him continually trying to quench my thirst, quote unquote.
Okay.
So it is more of a test of my might and my inability to get drunk.
Okay. That being said, let's do some Constitution saves. But
Let's go.
this Constitution is going to be against this Flump's adventurer. You're not trying to hit a DC. It is just
Okay.
number versus number. We're going to
Okay.
see who ends up doing what. I needed to know where my bag of dice was, and I found it.
Fucking Gwen would go to a masquerade party, kill her character acting, and then still wind up in a drinking contest.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Look, I love playing my characters playing other characters. That's my favorite thing. Oh, that's bullshit. 17.
They also got a 17. So, drinks for drinks. You're on, like, the third drink at this point. And Skiznabat is like, I've never met another woman like you.
I am one of a kind.
I'll drink to that. Cheers.
Cheers!
And they'll, like, clink glasses together. Meanwhile, the elves. Caelum, you have just put on this fantastic guise. Cori, you have just gotten done hyping them up. And a little man will approach you. And this little man is the Briganock that was going around on the chaise lounge. And as they come over with this reflective glass face, they say,
"That is a marvelous trick. Is he one of yours?"
Oh, isn't he something? No, I don't think he belongs to anybody, but I sure do like following him around.
Oh, well, that, of course. I mean, lots of people like following plenty of people around. Is he aware that you're following him around? Is this one of those, like, I need to contact the Mercy Killers, he has a restraining order? Probably not, because you seem very chummy with one another.
I don't rightly know, but if he doesn't want me to, he hasn't said anything about it, so...
Your accent is wonderful. I'm afraid I can't place it precisely. Miss Tree.
Mumps, Rhonda Mumps. I work at the hot dog factory.
No names here at the masquerade ball. They may
Who said
have
I gave
announced-
you the real name?
Yeah, you could have, and that would have thrown the whole undercover.
What am I dressed up as? And she like turns towards Caelum. And then she like doesn't wait for an answer and then turns back to him. And it's like, I guess you can just call me Elf.
That seems rather derogatory. I will call you Sir Tree.
All right. I mean, it took hours to get these ears on. It's probably going to take longer to get them off.
Well, that depends.
and they like look over and like from where they're looking, there's like swords that are like set on a banister.
But please, you may call me Glasses. It's my name.
Specs was right there.
That's his actual name, though. He can't do that.
We all
right,
have
Glass.
names and backstories here in this wonderful place, wouldn't you agree?
We sure do.
I have a request of you. Can you pick me up? I'm rather small and would like to go to the drink cart. I seem to have lost my ride.
Ah, I see.
Caelum
Just
makes a
like-
hand motion to Cori, like, well, go on then.
Yep. Cori will lean down, put out a hand.
And this little Briganock will hop on. Do you take him to the food bar?
I do, absolutely. I pick him up and I say, let's go see if I can get some corn syrup to drink while I drive a scooter around a mall.
What is corn syrup?
I'll tell you when you're older. Yeah, I'll tell you when you're older.
I am 150 years old, sir. How old do I
Still
have
not
to
old.
be?
Still not old enough.
Dangerous stuff, this is. Dangerous stuff.
And yeah,
I take him over to the drink cart.
okay. And you will find that this little Briganock could be described as the party's gossip queen. It seems that
Aw.
on the way over, they know most things about most individuals. And as thanks for your assistance, they are willing to dish a little bit. And it doesn't even seem like you need to ask. They more just like, oh, those two over there, see them? And like the more that you tell them about Rhonda Mumps, the hot dog factory, and what corn syrup could possibly be, they think that they're playing like an information game.
Rhonda Mumps is the hot dog factory now.
It's horrifying.
That's what you said.
I do not wish for this.
It's beautiful. Great. She will match tit for tat with fact for made up fact.
Okay, make a deception check to make up facts about people to share with the gossiper.
Oh boy. I'm not even trained in this. Colby. Oh yeah, hardware acceleration. That sure is a thing. So I watch my dice chug across the screen.
Oh my god.
I got an
fact
8.
trap.
An 8. They accept your gossip. They will take it. But it seems more like you get the little like blurb on the bottom that this individual, that Glasses will remember this.
Yeah. I figured.
Yeah, they are more than happy to accept to accept the ride, but you don't get very much information out of them. Meanwhile, Caelum, you have been left to your own devices, and you are approached by this chaise lounge, by Foyer themselves, as this chair, this reclined chair comes over to you and just, "Oh, hello, darling. I don't think we've been introduced just yet. You may call me Foyer."
Is there a hand offered towards him?
A little tassel from an end of this chaise lounge, like pokes up enough for you to shake.
Takes it, gives a small bow.
Now, of course, we like to say that it is a masquerade party, but my form is a little hard to mask every once in a while, unless, there is a mask that has been around for long enough that I can seep my consciousness into it and then be part of it. So you're new.
Yes, this is a very wonderful party.
Oh, thank you. I'm an excellent host. Excellent.
I apologize. It has been some time since I have been to a formal function, so I'm a bit rusty with social norms.
That is fine. You don't have to say anything about social norms to me. I am a couch. Lots of things are a little different here. Sigil is one of those places where you can just be who you want to be, man. I'm not going to try and say otherwise. I mean, if maybe a couch and a transformation bird boy fell in love, who would say that that is not a thing that could possibly happen here?
Caelum, just crosses his arms over his chest and has a hand to his chin, just thinking.
All I'm saying is pull up a chair, have a good time. Anyways, see you. And they just sort of make their way away from you as you're like, what? What? I just get hit on by furniture?
Is pull up a chair furniture for sit on my face?
You're just left in the middle of this floor.
Tasha's transformation only lasts a minute, so there is just after that conversation, just a deflated Caelum with the feathers come out.
Okay. And you can hear there is a "ah" from far off in the crowd when the transformation ends.
Caelum will just patrol at this point, walk around.
Okay, speaking of people that are walking out and about, Arjhan, you took the opportunity several minutes ago when Caelum was not currently, where he was currently unoccupied, or making sure that everyone else was distracted, and you were going to go and try and track down this book.
To the library.
To the library. So thankfully, with the help of your magic, you are able to navigate through here. Make a additional stealth check for me to navigate through these hallways.
20.
20? Okay. A 20 is good. So, you are sticking to the shadows. You eventually get to the library, and as you open up the doors, you are so happy that you have a description of this book enough that you can try and track it down, because it is Lady Rasinka's library. Massive. This is a fraction of it. This is by no means the largest library that you've seen in general, But this still is a massive residential library, especially for what you believe is a sentient house. You aren't really sure exactly what foyer is, but you know that the house on Duval is where the party's at. So thankfully, you are able to go and track down this book. So it is on a upper balcony, and you are able to fly up there without any real issue. Kind of taking a quick glance around, it does not seem like anyone else is in this room with you.
Yeah, any security traps, anything that would be...
No traps, and if there was security, you avoided them on your way here.
Okay.
Okay, so you end up going up to where you know the location of the book is, and it seems almost too easy for what you need to do. Make an insight check or an investigation check.
Okay. 22.
22. You are guessing that the books here, some are sentient, some are not. It seems that the security of the house is the house detail itself. And you aren't sure whether this book, whether the book titled The Game, has become a part of the house, is being protected by the house, or is on loan. From what you remember Lady Rasinka said, it seemed like it is currently being on loan. How it is at this point, as you're trying to kind of figuring it out, you get the innate sense like this book is being watched, but not you, more specifically the book, almost like there is something here that is making sure that it does not leave, or you or looking towards the back, you can feel what you would guess from the amount of time that you spent near Caelum, what would be a magical tripwire. Seems like this book does have a little bit of defense to it. So if you're gonna grab it, it's gonna need to be quickly, and it's going to need to be so that way it is not noticed at the time that it has been disappeared. So would you like to take some time to figure out how best to retrieve this book from the shelf?
Yes.
Okay. Sounds good. So, Gwen. Drink off.
Let's go. Wait, where'd my dice go? Hold on, I had to put them away for the cat. Oh, they're there. Okay. Oh, God. 26.
26. Okay. It
Thank
is
God
to the
I have
point
advantage.
where the flumps, who like people have kind of like come up to the two of you and tried to talk, and the flumps like, no, I am like in the middle of conversation. And when they say this, they are actually like using like a radial telepathy, so that way everyone who would normally be able to hear them speaking is able to hear, and just like, no, I'm having a good time, I'm having fun. And it is at this point that you notice that their jellyfish body is like changing color a little bit, and they're not floating with as much confidence as they used to. They did not roll as high as you on this Constitution challenge. So they are beginning to feel it a little bit.
My dear friend, may I call you a friend?
After the drinks that we've shared, of course, my good Baroness Lady Wolfenstein of the Doorstopper clan.
You may call me Lady Wolfenstein.
Of course, Lady Wolfenstein. I did not know that we were
Yes.
that close, but if it is...
with your consent, then, of course.
Speak to me of how you befell this fate.
Wild space, and they say and turn off towards the distance. Once I operated one of the noblest vessels upon the great astral sea, a spelljammer, and I was a fierce, fantastically sexy captain. Would you believe it? Upon our voyage, we fell into a patch of wild space, and my crew, they became part of the ship, while I suffered a different fate. I became as you see today. But I would not let that stop me. I continued to adventure and take hold of the reins of my oars and sail through wild space.
You are a brave adventurer indeed, my friend.
Coming from you, this is the highest compliment, Lady Wolfenstein.
Please. I am the ever-thirsty. You do not need to go on this adventure with me.
Then perhaps I shall take you to reminisce on old adventures and maybe discover a new one. And one of the, like, fluffy tendrils, like, rests atop your hand.
She is not quite sure, but she is so involved in this backstory that she has created for herself. Yes! I shall tell you of how my mother was killed by a Viking attack on the material plane.
My God, what are Vikings?
I shall tell you all.
And, yeah, this flump, Skiznabat, will take your hand, Gwen, and they apparently have a museum of their trophies, within the house on Duval that they would like to show to you.
I'm so in.
Okay, Cori, you have deposited this little Briganock at the food table, and you can see that they have a small plate that they are just like pulling pinches of every other food and putting it on. Like, they can't eat a whole muffin. The muffin's like size of about like a third of them. They need to make small bites.
I offer to split with them.
They'll pass. They're good. You
Well-
offer to split, and like you like start splitting food, and they're like, "Please, you don't have to. It's fine."
I'd be ashamed to let food go to waste.
And they nod. And they'll like get enough food on their plate. They don't really like say much more to you. But it is actually when Frobert walks by that Glasses will reach up to them and just, "Oh dear, would you mind taking me to the drink cart? It seems that my mode of transportation has escaped." And just, "Yes." And like you can tell, like there's like sweat coming down the neck. This was not a well thought out mask on their part, but they are here and wearing it.
The most miserable Orlo. All right, I'm getting ditched. I'm gonna look for somebody else who seems to be hugging the wall.
Okay. Someone else who is going to be hugging the wall.
Probably that Illithid friend, huh?
Yeah, the Illithid, Direxian. Direxian is also hugging the wall, and they have, it's like a martini glass, but there is a small brain in it. And it seems like there is a straw that goes up to their mouth, but it is a clear straw that just has a tendril of brain that they are just slurping like one long spaghetti.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Cori's got no brain. She ain't scared. She'll approach.
Okay. And Direxian will look at you and say telepathically, just, "Your friends have an interesting way of keeping a low profile."
Can he hear my thoughts? Can I just like speak to him with my brain meats?
Yeah, it does look like this is an open channel between the two of you.
I don't have. All right. Well, it seems to be working in any sense.
Yes, it does. Seems one of your friends has made themselves quite the center of attention. And with a tendril, they'll like gently indicate over towards Gwen, who's just walking off with the host of the party up towards one of the hallways. And then Caelum, who had gotten done speaking with the chaise longue, has been sort of like milling about a little bit, I would say, like getting to speak more with the individuals there. But again, Direxion sort of makes a comment about the fact that not so subtle, but at least it sets a precedent for something big in case it does happen. These people love big events, adventure, and whatnot. Sigil is not the correct place for such a thing, but it does happen from time to time.
When you say a big event, do you mean something disruptive?
Disruptive, explosive, what the town's guard, the Mercy Killers, might consider troublemaking.
I understand.
However, we are not here to cause trouble, and depending on the guards, Mrs. Fox has fingers in many pies.
Well, speaking of Mrs. Fox, do you have any useful information, advice on how to help her with her errand?
With her errand, well, I would say that two of your friends have already, well, one of them at least, have already made sizable steps. I would say two, but I have not seen the individual known as Jet. Since the big flourish, I'm assuming they are off doing something completely above the board, legal, not troublemaking.
Of course. Jet would never make any trouble.
And they would say, towards after some drinks, you will find that individuals tend to pair off. If you are looking to go deeper into the house to do such a pairing, without as many questions being asked, I would say enjoy the party until then. Usually, the first two to go are those, and like gently points with two tendrils, and it is the two Gith wearing the lion and the tiger mask. And you can see that they're in more of a heated argument, and the one in the lion mask says, "You want to fuck me so bad it makes you look stupid," to the other one. And then they sort of like react a little bit, and then like they kind of lean into it a little bit more, and like they like start, they actually start walking off down one of the corridors.
Oh, sure enough, there they go. Interesting.
There's a lot of aggression between those two folks, and they get it out in the only way they know how. It's sickening. Yuck.
Yeah. Don't judge. If Jet were to get into any sort of trouble, would there be any way to know?
Foyer tends not to inform others when bad happenings have occurred, if possible. You don't necessarily want to raise an alarm when there are this many individuals of high notability, rank, or profile.
I see. So what you're saying is that if he were in trouble, he could potentially be in trouble now and we wouldn't even know.
That is correct. Did you establish some form of telepathic communication beforehand?
Didn't occur to us to do. I don't even know if that's within our capabilities. I'll have to ask Caelum later.
So
Well, thank you. Well, thank you for your information. Do you have anything else you'd like to say to me?
yes, given the circumstance, would you care to pair off for just a brief moment?
Just narrowing of the eyes. It
It doesn't mean anything.
for show or
For show.
for real? Ah, well. And she'll switch to speaking out loud and be like, "Wow, you have such a way with words. Care to take my
I
arm?"
regret having you open your mouth, but let's go. Just follow me, and when I tell you to, slap my ass really hard. We need others to know.
Oh my god. All right, yeah, she'll just take his arm and start walking out.
And eventually you just get a little, like, the tendrils, like, pop up and one, like, hits the other.
All right, I'm gonna fucking like wail on him. I want to do bludgeoning damage.
Okay. Sure.
Unarmed attack. Ah. It's a 26 to hit.
Smite that!
5 damage.
Okay, and you just, like, Caelum, you are in the hall, and above all the crowds and the dins, there is a cracking noise as you watch this fucking mind flayer as Cori, like, slaps their ass so hard that you watch them, like, pop up. They generally levitate, so they didn't have feet on the ground, and they just whoop whoop. As you watch, like, like Cori goes out of the hallway with one of them.
Caelum will just turn to the closest person to him. Is that acceptable behavior here?
And the person that you close to, or that you turn closest to you can see has green skin that almost is, could be considered frog-like. They are wearing a black sequence mask in the shape of a displacer beast. And they say, as a matter of fact, it is. Now,
Is that...
before you have any questions, I would just like to say, I noticed you. Noticing me.
I'm gonna roll to see if Caelum takes one for the team.
Okay.
Indoor, I don't think I've ever loved you more. I don't.
Well, maybe we can find some place to notice each other a bit more privately.
I heard you were a traveling scholar. Do you like books?
I love books.
I'd love to show you my library.
I love it. It's yours.
Extends the hand out, Caelum. You take the hand. And the individual that you would know as Intraxis, the Ultraloth, will begin to escort you to their personal library.
Ruh-roh.
Since we've been gone,
Since you've been gone.
what would detect magic have gotten me for on the tripwire?
On the tripwire itself, you would recognize this as an alarm spell. And normally you would need an identify for that, but you've been around alarms and snares and all sorts of preventative measures long enough that you would recognize what this is. So in order to, from what you have been able to see, at least like using, I would say, because you have thieves' tools? Do you
No.
have thieves' tools? What kind of
No.
tools do you have? Do
I
you have a
alchemy.
small mirror?
I have alchemy tools. I have a larger mirror. I have a pocket version of it too.
Yes. So I would say with your pocketed mirror, you realize that it is a wire that has been set up with what looks like a glass like a bookmark inside of it. And in order to properly get the book that you are looking for out, you would have to Indiana Jones swap the books. It seems like this is more of a proximity thing than it is tied to the specific book itself.
I would have to get one book back on it. I
Yes.
wouldn't be able to like get two books to squish.
You're not sure. You could try. You could try either of these two things. What do you feel will have the highest chance of success?
Okay. I will cast guidance on myself,
Okay.
and I will try to Indiana Jones the book.
Okay. So for this, you would need to make a dexterity check or a sleight of hand.
This guidance gave me D4. Okay.
Did you roll for your chalice today?
Is it the same day as Tasha?
Yes.
So I don't think I would have it. Well, that die was a mimic. So that's a natty 1.
Okay. So
Not anywhere near you. I can't help.
Nope.
okay. So yeah, you pull the book and there is no audible ring. There is no sound, but the book is in your grasp. Caelum, as you are walking with Intraxis, one of what looks like a what is it? An ottoman will like kind of walk up to you, the two of you as you are going, and the ottoman will look up towards Intraxis, and Intraxis looks down at the ottoman, and there seems to be a exchange, and Intraxis nods and says, I was planning on showing you around a little bit, but it looks like plans have expedited.
Is something the matter?
Oh, just someone poking their nose in something very, very dangerous. Come along. And they will begin making their way now. Arjhan, you have this? Nothing is happening, but you are starting to see that like books along their shelves are beginning to like wiggle out a little. And it seems like something has made note of you.
All right. Sending. I fucked up. Find a silver door handle. And I will rope trick my conference room
Okay.
and try to silver door handle.
Sounds good. So you rope trick.
Mhm.
Roll a D100 for me.
Ruh-roh.
One second. $65.
65. Okay, so as you message the party, I fucked up. Rope trick. You create the conference room. The doors to the library open. And stumbling in, wrapped in each other's arms, are two GIF who are just full on, like, just smooching into each other. And you hear, Samel, it's impossible. This will never work. And just, quiet, Yvonne. For tonight, we are the lion and the tiger. And they are just like rummaging around, like slamming into bookshelves. Books are falling off. They are making, like, they are not paying attention to their surroundings as they are getting up into a fervor. Arjhan, you know in this moment that one book missing from a shelf, when people are knocking things over, will take a while to find. Do you knock any of these books over to contribute to the mess that these two are making?
No, my intention is to get out.
Okay. Sounds good. So pop into the conference room.
Not into the conference room. Into
Okay.
Gideon.
To Gideon. Gotcha. Okay. So, and away. Meanwhile,
Once I'm through, lose concentration on rope trick.
okay.
The door's gone. Arjhan's not with y'all.
Okay. Caelum, you are being brought towards the library. The doors are open. You can hear the sounds of coupling coming from the inside. And Intraxis will, like, put a hand to you. Like puts it, like, on, like, the center of your chest and just, hold on. It may be unsightly in there. And, like, takes a couple steps forward, looks in, immediately looks back out. Looks at you, Caelum. Raises 4 of their fingers to you.
I'll try anything once.
And Intraxis will call in, or will actually then proceed in. He doesn't like he'll like have your hand and like lead you in, kind of thing, as the doors to the library close. As this plays out. So Caelum, that is how you were choosing to enjoy your time.
Well, when Intraxis gets involved with the other people, Caelum's gonna excuse himself real quick and just dimension door away.
Yep, safe plan. Okay. Caelum, you have seen quite a few things that you can never tell anyone about.
How did he open his mouth so large? That will haunt my... just ascending over the party comms. That'll haunt my waking world every second. Let's get out of here.
Okay, Cori, you have received the sending, like, hey, let's get out of here. And you are, like, walking in the direction of the library with this mind flayer.
Uh-huh.
And
Well,
you
I've
just
gotten
see
a couple.
Caelum, like, walking back with a very harrowed expression.
Harrowed demeanor. He has the mask on.
I see. Corey, like as like Caelum's walking the opposite direction, right?
Yes.
Cori just like does like a 180 as soon as Caelum passes them, and like leaves the mind flayer swinging in the wind, and like matches step with Caelum, and says, "Do you think Gwen needs extraction?"
I have seen things incomprehensible to humanoid minds.
Hey, 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 hey! Stay with me here.
Oh, sorry.
We need to get out of here.
We do.
You see any silver doorknobs?
I could just plane shift us out of here.
All right, but we just need Gwen, right?
Yeah.
All right. As soon as we see her, I'll take her to us. Are you ready?
As I'll ever be.
All right. Bust into the room.
Okay. So, Gwen, before your party members bust into the room, this flump, Skiznabat, he takes you into this almost museum. There are large glass display cases that have a variety of armors and weapons. You can see that there's even an entire ship that is hanging from the ceiling from what appear to be strands of hair that he explains that he actually received from a group of Koreds that taught him the Kored dance to allow him to weave with their hair as well. He's been to galaxies far and wide, seen the end of space, and at the end of this museum turns to you and says, "But I have never known such beauty as what lies before me, Lady Wolfenstein. I know that we are...
Go ahead.
I know that we have just only met, but I feel like I've known you for a lifetime."
Yes. Yes, true soulmates of grand design
True adventure.
and great peril.
Spoken as so someone who has only seen the dangers of war can possibly speculate. Lady
I've died
Wolfenstein,
before.
as have I. And I feel as though if I do not ask the question that is on my mind, I shall die further still. Lady Wolfenstein.
No, don't speak. We only have tonight.
This is true. Ours is a love that shall never be.
Yes, of course.
May I ask of you one thing? Baroness Lady
Anything.
Wolfenstein of the Doorstopper clan.
Oh,
Hold me.
bring it in.
And this flump will just like nestle against you. Gwen, you are holding on to this flump. And the door bursts open behind you. Can you please make a constant or a wisdom saving throw for me?
Is this against magic?
No, this is against being frightened.
Oh,
You have advantage. You're a halfling.
oh, that's true. Okay, that's what I wanted to check. Ooh, boy, a wisdom. How's a 10?
A 10, the doors open, Gwen, and you squeeze, and there is just
Oh no!
like a popping noise. And there is just the puddle of a jellyfish that rests against you.
Who's at the door?
At the door is Cori and Caelum.
Fix it! Fix it!
Oh God, did you kill him?
Oh my God, you killed him. Gwen, that's so fucked up. Also, you're so jacked.
Is he?
I'm sorry, can you say that again? You're peeking.
Yeah, you.
Sorry.
Even worse, honey. Even worse.
I forgot he was made out of jelly, and I got scared.
Oh, you've made him ink.
Is he dead? Or
Oh,
like,
he
you know,
looks.
just...
He's a jellyfish
just a-
that's been hugged to death.
Okay. All right. Cool. Great. I'll give
We
him
should
a.
go, right? We should go, right?
I'll give him a quick revivify. Is that right? Does that seem correct?
Yeah, Revivify would do it.
Yeah. I'll burn a diamond for that. Goodbye, diamond. I bring him back to life. And I don't know. He's just like.
He's like a jellyfish on the beach right now, but it's.
All right, yeah, I do that, and it's all like, all right, that's good enough. And then I'm going to like pick up Gwen and yell, "Rhonda Mumps!" and then like run over to Caelum.
Rhonda mumps or run to mumps?
I say Rhonda Mumps.
Gwen looks back at the flump, takes a hand,
You can
reaches
see
it
that like
forward.
one of their little flump eye stalks begins to flutter.
Just in
There's
the
a long
blur,
tendril
they
towards
see-
you.
They just see Gwen being pulled away with a hand reached out as
We're-
the plane shift away.
Were we ever informed of what they were before being turned into a flump?
Gwen was. Gwen heard the whole backstory.
Oh yeah.
Just real quick to Gwen. Oh no, he wouldn't know that. Okay. I was gonna true polymorph him back into what he was.
No.
We'll have to find him another time.
You gotta leave it
I'll
as a
put-
tragedy, man.
Yeah.
No, it's just like he wakes back up like, that hug cured me of my sickness.
Turns out I just needed a strong woman.
Don't we
True
all,
love's
buddy?
I have to find her again.
Oh my god.
Anyway.
Wait. That might be better.
Yeah,
Can we do
Gwen
that?
says was he a human before?
he was a human before.
Gwen says,
What does
Caelum.
What does she think he was before?
Well, he told her a human, right?
Yeah.
Because I heard the whole backstory.
All right, do it. Fucking send it.
Caelum! Turn
Yeah.
him back into a human.
I don't know what he looked like as a human, so it's gonna be an approximation.
Blonde flowing hair, angel blue eyes, lips soft yet supple,
Mr. Sandman?
jacked.
just the firmness on that last point.
Jacked.
He'll look over to the flump, point a finger, and then snap, and give an
Incredible.
approximation of a blonde hair, blue-eyed Farron.
Okay. Yeah. There is
Just You just make him your dad?
I got
But
blonde
hot.
hair, blue eyes, jacked. The only other jacked guy
Supple
he
lips.
needs
Supple lips.
with very button nose, nice lips, tight buttocks, Shrek style.
Oh my god.
He's your dad. Boogie woogie woogie.
So, Caelum, as that long last tendril points towards Baroness Lady Wolfenstein of the Doorstopper clan, you just, boom, true polymorph. As there's just this, oh, I have bones again!
The magical girl transformation as we just blink out of existence.
It's
A la
like the end
Beauty
of
and the
Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
Yeah. When he turns around, you're like, oh.
It could have been
turn
hotter.
back.
Give me the monster
And
again.
that's how
It
we
was
knew we
fun.
were 30. We were furries.
And then secretly, as they're on the other side of the plane, Caelum drops concentration, so he turns back into a flump.
No!
You said true polymorph, you bitch.
True polymorph is a concentration spell, my love.
I thought it.
No,
was
it's not
forever.
just like a one and done, like,
I have to
Yeah,
concentrate on
no,
it for an
you have to-
hour for it to be
yeah.
permanent.
Oh,
You gotta
I see.
concentrate the entire time. It's like
Better
banishment.
concentrate. That was my lost love.
Okay.
Gwen's like, gets
The
a
love
rope.
that could never
Could
be.
never be.
Okay.
Can we go back to Gideon?
Yeah. Plane shift back to Gideon.
I think Gwen like is reaching out and they kind of like blink. She's like, yeah, I think I went full Baroness there. Never go full Baroness. Well, anybody up for a pint? Gideon! Beer!
Please.
Arjhan, when it, like, as he was gonna go back into the into Gideon, he was gonna put his book into his bag of holding. And now that everybody else is here, he's gonna take back out the book. If he's just thinking about a book, does he only feel one in there?
Yeah, there is only the one book that is in there, but the book that you are feeling now does not feel like a paperback. It feels a lot larger. It feels a lot more leathery. And when you pull out this book, it is in the place of the game, the Demonomicon.
Wow. Thankfully, I didn't have to actually use my character for anything. Your prize.
Thank you. Oh, this feels wrong.
Oh, it almost certainly is.
Didn't we already have one of those?
This one's special.
Oh.
Look with your special eyes.
I'm okay. You know what, guys? Unless you guys need me, I think I'm gonna go to bed early tonight.
I've still
It's
got
been a lot.
about 45 minutes until the spell finishes.
Which spell?
Thanks for that.
True polymorph. Oh. I never thought concentrating on something several planes away would suck so much.
Want a little foot massage there, buddy?
Oh no, I'm fine. Thank you though.
Okay.
Can I make you some tea?
That I will do.
How about I make some for everyone?
That'd be great.
Okay. And Cori, as you go to make some tea, Caelum, you finish concentrating on concentrating on this true polymorph, and then begin looking into the Demonomicon. That is where we're going to call it for tonight's session. So, I'd like to say thank you to everybody who decided to join us for this masquerade heist. It was a great time. I had a lot of fun, but I always have a lot of fun whenever these folks are on the channel. Hey, RJ, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hey everybody, my name is RJ, and you can catch me at RJustice282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I tweet about the nerdy things in my life, and sometimes stream with my friends. You can catch me here on Mondays as Caelum, the Shatterkai Wizard Fighter. On Tuesdays, I think Sarah and I will be streaming some video games, so come check it out over at the Hype Goblins. Once again, over at the Hype Goblins on Wednesday, I run a Humblewood game, which went so wrong so fast. The sorcerer firebolted a commoner. I know, it's weird. Thursdays over at GGK, where we do Elegant Creatures, a Monster of the Week Elegant Good Society hacked game where we were told to go save the world. So yeah, that's fun. We're gonna get some drones and fly them together to make Optimus Prime. Saturdays, once again, for GGK for Ward 47, where we find out my character's tragic backstory. They were Winter Soldier babied. Finally, over at the Hobgoblins on Sunday mornings, where we do a D&D 5e homebrew campaign. It's fun, it's funky, it's fresh, it's sexy. Come check it out. TodayKeener.com.
Hello, everybody. I am LBHackEmUp. You can find me at LBHackEmUp on the Twitters and the Twitches, where I stream every Friday and Sunday on LBHackEmUp. This past week, we did a one-shot, which was Wyvern or Die, It was a Wyvern Racing one shot that Val threw together in like an hour and a half, which was amazing. I played a Jedi. Basically just stole Ted's blade singing wizard and used them. It was absolutely amazing. And just check my Twitter for all the other things I do. Next time I'm going to be live is tomorrow evening, doing GGK. We are doing Stars Without Numbers. Am I right, Danae? Masks?
I haven't a clue. I never
We'll
know what's
be
going
there.
on Tuesdays.
Anyways, just check all that out. DanaeKeener.com.
I'm Cyber. You can find me on the sinking ship of Twitter for a little bit. You can also find me on twitch.tv/cyberwolf1. Right now I'm playing Phantom Hourglass for a couple weeks. And then on the 3rd, I am going to be doing a very long charity stream for the Cyberwolf 1201 December 1st charity stream. Where I'll be trying to do Elden Ring most remembrances, like all the remembrances that I can do on New Game Plus. So if you want to know what the fuck's going on with Elden Ring, boy, are we going to do it all. Or, try doing it and raise money for charity. That's it for now. That's not it for now. This Friday, I will be on twitch.tv/High Shelf Collective in a Vampire the Masquerade one-shot. That's it. DanaeKeener.com.
Well, hey, speaking of DanaeKeener.com, I'm Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings, most related to D&D, and a lot of things on this channel. You can also find me on the Good Ship Misery, which is to say Twitter.com, as at Danae Keener. For the foreseeable future, you can see a pin tweet there that has my schedule on it. So go check it out, DanaeKeener.com.
And if you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am, but if you don't, hey Acorns, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures. Right now, we just do the show on Mondays. In December, I know that we have a game that's going to be coming up on Saturdays, so consider checking a lookout for it, because we already got a DM for it. It's going to be great. Right now we are currently working out the player list, but right now I'm just going to say things are going to be a little bit spooky and it's going to be great. But again, we are going to be heading out, so I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by, especially after us being gone for the last month. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to these players for putting up with my bullshit once again this week. And we'll see all of you guys next time. Oh, and check out Patreon, patreon.com/Indoor Adventures. You'll still find us there after Twitter is a pile of wreckage at the bottom of the sea. Goodbye, everybody.